Time. Show me your handstand again. So the big thing was like, that's it. This is exactly how I did my first handstands. They were the same way pretty much, where it was just like hard to really, it's the stability.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know, but the stability is actually from, it's all your scapula stability. So when you see someone, we're just walking forward and we can like hold it, you know, you're strong enough to hold it clearly. It's just training that scapula stability, pushing through your scapulas. So like simply put your arms up in the air and think about putting your shoulders to your ears and push and hold right there. And like just hold for like 20, 30 seconds. You already feeling that? Mm-hmm. And do you feel it back here more? Okay. What that does is it trains not just your shoulders, but that whole posterior activation that goes along with it, and it translates really well to a handstand. So let's go over to the wall. Is there's two ways to get up into the handstand against the wall. Obviously, we can just kick up like this and kick into the wall, and you can still get into a pretty good position. And then you can practice like pulling your feet off and getting into balance. And the cool part is if we fall back into the wall, it's okay. It's so much easier to get back into a proper position from here than when we freestand and kick up. That is the hardest part, is getting time under tension in the movement. What the wall does, it allows you to get that time under tension without struggling too much and wasting too much energy of falling back down, kicking back up. What I want you to try, for the sake of the specific benefit of getting your posterior chain activated for the handstand, walk up the wall here, okay? Pull your hands about a foot off the wall, I would say. And then push and hold here. And you're just gonna hold. And what this is gonna do is really mimic being stacked in a handstand properly, working the proper muscles in the right way. Don't fully exert yourself, save a little bit of energy. You can actually walk back down. Yep, perfect. Walk back. So bring your hands a little, yep, there you go. And I'd bring your hands a little bit further back, maybe like right there. Good, okay. If you can, point your toes. There you go. And now from here, just really push. And yep, there you go, perfect. So now it's just about holding, and it may only be for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, especially as a beginner. That's more than plenty of time. What we're really training though is this, getting all of this to light up properly, because that's a big part of where the handstand is going to be beneficial. So good. Felt good? Cool. So that would be something that you could practice regularly if you wanted to get your handstand. The reason why we're doing that one at least first is specifically because anytime we have that walking, that instability, this is a great place to start first to kind of correct the stability part. And then after we correct the stability part, you can go back to freestanding and try a couple of these other progressions that we'll go over. Probably the other progression that I think is really worth noting that Jimmy kind of taught us too was when you kick up here, you can actually bend here. Like in a handstand, it doesn't really matter where your feet go. It's just that your hips, your wrists, and shoulders are all stacked. And so if you want, doing a progression like this, I really think, to actually get into the proper position for the handstand. So kicking up first, bending one or both knees, and kind of just tapping off the wall the same way that I did on the first one.
It just gives you the opportunity to kind of play with it, right?
Get used to being in the movement
sort of like,
without.
you know, like what I was saying earlier, your legs don't matter, right?
The big thing too is like translatability. If we become too dependent on the wall, what happens is when we go to kick up, we overkick because we think we're going to hit a wall and catch ourselves. Kick up, you're already going to hit that perfect line. You're already used to kicking up on your own. So that's really big too. Some people are totally against the wall. Some people are totally for the wall. I'm for the wall, but I think I'm a little in between of, you can't get so dependent on the wall because eventually you have to go to freestanding kickups, right? When you do, to make that transition as seamless as possible, we just want to make sure that we're not kicking into the wall and just hitting the wall. we're kicking up with a purpose into the wall. So when if I go to kick up into the wall, I'm thinking of that wall's not there. I want to try to catch this handstand so that, and then if I do fall into the wall, it's a lot more controlled and a lot of just a support system rather than a dependent. That's handstand, man. Think you could get it, honestly.
Try it. I'll be back next Saturday. It'll be better, I promise.